All right, today we are going to unlock a seriously powerful productivity secret. I like to call it the 80/20 cheat code. It's a super simple framework that's designed to fix one of the biggest problems we all face in our work and honestly, in our lives. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? Your day is just this crazy blur of emails flying back and forth. You're jumping from one meeting to the next. And yeah, you're checking stuff off your to do list. But then at the end of the day, when you finally shut your laptop, you get this sinking feeling that you didn't actually move the needle on anything that really matters. Ugh, it's that frustrating cycle, right? Being busy, but not actually productive.
But listen, here's the good news. The problem isn't your effort. Seriously, you're not lazy, you're not slacking off. The real issue isn't about working harder, it's about where you're pointing all that amazing energy. But what if I told you that you could get massive, incredible results by actually doing less? No, really. There's this simple but honestly profound principle that can totally rewire the way you think about work. And we're about to break it all down. So, the engine behind this whole cheat code, it's a pretty famous idea. It's called the 80/20 rule, but you might also know it as the Pareto Principle. At its core, the Pareto Principle is all about this huge imbalance that exists everywhere. The basic idea is that a tiny fraction of your efforts, we're talking like 20%, is responsible for the huge majority of your results. It's not 50-50, not even close. You know, our gut tells us that all our tasks are kind of created equal, right? But that's where we get it totally wrong. See, a few key actions, that's your vital 20%, they have this massive, leveraged impact. They generate the lion's share of your success. Everything else, it's pretty much just noise. And let's be honest, most of us spend our days completely trapped by what we can call the trivial many. That's the 80% of tasks that just create the illusion of being productive. So our goal here is to escape that trap and purposefully shift our focus to the vital few. You know, those few things that actually, truly make a difference. Okay, so understanding the theory is great and all, but putting it into practice, that's what really counts. So let's get tactical. Let's figure out how to find your vital 20%. This is the smart move, the one that separates the people who are just busy from those who are genuinely productive. First things first, you've got to become a detective of your own time. I mean, you can't possibly find your vital 20% if you don't even know where your time and energy are going right now. And a simple time audit is going to give you exactly the clarity you need. And don't worry, this isn't complicated at all. Step 1, just list out everything you do in a typical week and be honest. Then, step 2, look at that big list and circle the things that actually produced your biggest results, your biggest wins. Finally, step 3, from that smaller circled list, force yourself to pick the top 2. Just 2. These are your heavy hitters. This is your vital few. Okay, so once you've figured out your most critical tasks, we can take it a step further with an even more powerful filter. It's called the Law of 3. Think of this as your ultimate action plan for staying laser focused. 3. That's it. That's the number I really want you to burn into your brain. It's the number that's going to anchor your productivity and make sure you are always working on what matters the most. Now, the law of 3 is simple, but I'm going to be real with you. It's not always easy. The idea is to identify the 3, just 3, activities that generate like 90% of your value. Then you pour almost all of your energy into doing those 3 things exceptionally well. And for everything else, you have to be ruthless. You either delegate it or you eliminate it completely. You know, this could be something like automating a weekly report that you hate doing, or maybe empowering a teammate to handle all the initial questions that come in, freeing you up to focus on the big picture strategy that only you can do. All right, so we've covered the principle, we've covered the plan, but you gotta remember, knowledge without action is, well, it's just trivia, isn't it? So now it's time to turn all this insight into actual, real-world results. This really is the core commitment you have to make to yourself. It's a conscious choice. A choice to stop letting all those low-impact tasks clog up your calendar and instead to start dedicating your best energy to the few things that create real, lasting value. So I want you to do something. Look at your to-do list right now. Seriously, based on everything we've just talked about, what is the very first trivial task you are going to consciously delegate, delay, or just flat out delete starting today?